Hello everyone, my name is Nahu and I'm a software architect at Aventus, and I'm here today to answer some questions for the Meet the Team series. So let's get into it. So the first question I have is, what are your responsibilities at Aventus? Well, as a software architect, I am responsible for all aspects of the development of our products. And this includes the design, the actual development, the deployment, and ultimately the usage in the real world. And this usually means understanding the requirements of the business and spending time looking at the big picture to find different ways to develop a product that is fit for purpose. I also get to think about tools and techniques and third-party technologies that are out there to make sure we pick the right ones so that our product is the best that it can be. But having said that, we have a very dynamic, fluid team structure, and on any given day you might find me writing unit tests or documentation. So the second question I have is, what does Aventus mean to you? Well, I was fortunate enough to join Aventus very early on as an engineer and grow with the company. And for me, Aventus is proof that if a small group of people really put their heart and mind into a common goal, that they can achieve anything. The drive and can-do attitude of everyone here at Aventus is inspiring for me. I get to work with very talented people solving complicated problems, and this is a dream job for an engineer or a developer. I mean, the size of the challenges we take on are usually huge because we're building products on cutting edge tech. I mean, the technology that powers blockchains is evolving, and it's being developed as we speak. It's nowhere near as mature as some of the more traditional tech stacks out there. But with a small core team, we are able to tackle these challenges, and we're able to deliver products that are being used by clients out there in the real world. And in my view, this is what Aventus is about. You know, it's solving real world problems using innovative solutions at the highest level. And so it's an inspiring place to work. Okay, so the third question I have is, how does your past experience help you in your role? Well, before I joined Aventus, I had over 10 years experience doing full stack development, and this allowed me to significantly contribute in the development of our products from the get-go. But more recently, so the last job title I had before joining Aventus was a senior technical product lead, and this is a role I've been doing for a few years before I joined. And this role gave me an opportunity to be involved in all stages of product development. So like from discussing client requirements all the way to like post go live support. And doing this role, it taught me that there's a big difference between solving technical challenges and building products. And so in our field of work as engineers working on the blockchain space, we solve very complex technical problems, and that on its own is very satisfying. But I always aim to go one step further and make sure we solve them in a way that allows us to build a product that clients can use, because there is a difference between just solving a problem and making sure we solve them in a way that we can build a product out of that. And at the heart of our designs and our architecture is a focus on usability. So the fourth question I have is, where do you see Aventus in the next 5 to 10 years? Right. I guess this is an easier question, because with the focus of solving real-world problems, I think Aventus will be a household name in the next 5 to 10 years. I think it will be common to see the powered by Aventus link on blockchain-based products, and users would recognize that as a mark of quality. I mean, I know firsthand how much we obsess about the quality, security, and user friendliness of our products. So I would not be surprised if that was the case in the next few years. But I also think that Aventus will play a big role in advancing the mainstream adoption of blockchain. And I say this because blockchain-powered applications have a reputation of being complicated and hard to use. But here at Aventus, we are focused on building user-friendly products that solve real-world problems. And the other point I would like to make is that the blockchain space is rapidly evolving, and being an active player in the early stages will allow Aventus to influence the future direction of the technology. And so for all these reasons, I think Aventus will be a household name in the next few years. So the fifth question I have is, when you're not working, what do you like to do for fun? Well, I suppose spending time with talented people to solve complex problems and seeing your solutions being used can be considered fun. But to come back to the question, I like reading articles when I can. I mean, long gone are the days where I have time to read books. I also like spending time with my family and watching my kids learn new things. I mean, the human ability to learn and adapt always fascinates me. Other than that, I enjoy playing football, but I don't do it as often these days. And I like watching documentaries. And the last question I have is, when AVN reaches 1 billion transactions, how will you celebrate? Since this is the last question, if I can be a bit philosophical, sometimes I think of transactions as like individual experiences or memories that a chain gets when it processes them. And the more transactions it processes, the older and the more mature it gets. For example, our AVN chain, with its like tens of millions of transactions, can be considered a teenager. But when it reaches 1 billion transactions, that's the day it becomes an adult with its own character and its own story to tell. And so, in the same way that a parent feels proud when their child turns 18, I think I would share the same feeling when our chain reaches 1 billion transactions. But in terms of actual celebration, I think I would be joining a global celebration with a beer in hand, or maybe coffee, depending on the time of day we reach 1 billion transactions. Because I suspect it won't be just Aventus celebrating this huge achievement. Our global community of stakers and AVT holders will also be celebrating with us. And on the day, I think there will be a lot of looking back and reminiscing about how it all started, and thinking about the huge challenges we overcame, and feeling immensely proud of what we have achieved. I mean, reaching that milestone is a validation that we have built a product, a quality product, on cutting edge tech, and made a difference in the world. I think it's the icing on the cake.